The truth about anger, how it destroys you, and how to break free.
Anger is instinctive, but mastering your emotions is a skill. If you don't control your emotions, you will become a slave to them. Saying everything out loud and expressing every emotion impulsively is not a sign of honesty. It simply means you've never learned to think before you speak. One of our biggest mistakes is that we reserve our worst habits and most negative emotions for the people we love the most. Don't let your negative emotions show on your face, because that kind of expression makes people distance themselves from you. If you can't even control your own emotions, then no matter how much you achieve in life, sooner or later, you will destroy everything. You may never realize how many people you've hurt with your words during moments of lost temper. A kind word can warm someone throughout winter, but a harsh word can send chills even in June. You may never fully understand how deeply a single impulsive comment in anger can wound even the people closest to you. The more you grow, the more you must learn to be tolerant and to regulate your emotions. Don't let a fleeting moment of anger cost you someone you cherish the most. The person who helps you change your temperament is the one you love. The person who endures your temperament is the one who loves you the most. Buddha, Part 1. Why do we get angry? Anger doesn't just appear out of nowhere like a cartoon character jumping out of a bush. It stems from unmet expectations, the need for control, and attachment. We want things to go our way, and when they don't, we react, often in ways that make the situation worse. Think about it. You spill coffee on your favorite shirt, and suddenly it feels like the entire universe is conspiring against you. But what really happens when anger goes unchecked? Anger is like a wildfire. If not controlled, it can burn everything in its path. It doesn't just affect emotions, it has severe consequences on physical health, physiology, and mental well-being. Physiologically, when we get angry, the body reacts as if facing a life-threatening danger. The adrenal glands immediately release cortisol and adrenaline, increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and stress levels. If anger persists or occurs frequently, it can lead to chronic high blood pressure, increasing the risk of strokes and heart attacks. Additionally, prolonged stress hormone production weakens the immune system, making the body more susceptible to infections and diseases. Anger also impacts the digestive system. When the body enters a fight or flight state due to anger, digestion slows down, leading to issues such as acid reflux, stomach pain, and even irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. People who experience frequent anger are at a higher risk of developing gastrointestinal problems due to the nervous system being under constant stress. Most notably, chronic anger severely disrupts sleep. Someone prone to anger is more likely to have trouble falling asleep or experience shallow sleep, leading to chronic insomnia. This creates a dangerous cycle. Lack of sleep increases stress levels and makes a person more irritable, further intensifying their anger issues. Beyond health, anger wreaks havoc on relationships. When we lose control, our words become sharper than any knife. One angry remark can deeply wound someone, potentially destroying trust that took years to build. While we can apologize later, sometimes the scars left by words don't heal easily. Moreover, anger clouds our judgment. When controlled by rage, we make impulsive and reckless decisions that often lead to regret. A moment of road rage could result in an accident. An uncontrolled argument could end a lifelong friendship. A hasty reaction at work could cost you a promotion. Unchecked anger also weakens our emotional and psychological well-being. It turns us into slaves to our emotions, making us easily triggered by the smallest inconveniences. Instead of controlling our lives, we become ruled by knee-jerk reactions, constantly trapped in a cycle of stress and dissatisfaction. The frightening part is that the more we allow anger to dictate our responses, the more we reinforce a negative behavioral pattern. Just like a trail in the forest becomes more defined the more we walk on it. Reacting with anger repeatedly makes it the default response for handling frustrating situations. Once this becomes a habit, breaking free from it becomes incredibly difficult. So, if left unchecked, anger is not just a temporary reaction. it can become a destructive lifestyle that affects our health, relationships, career, and mental state. It's like a storm. Once it forms, it doesn't just blow through, it leaves lasting damage in its wake. If we don't learn to master it, anger will master us. Now, let's take a step back and see how Buddha handled this situation. One day, a man stormed up to Buddha, absolutely furious. He started hurling insults at him for no apparent reason. Instead of reacting, Buddha simply smiled, classic Buddha move, and calmly asked, "If someone offers you a gift but you refuse to accept it, then who does the gift belong to?" The man, confused but still angry, replied, "Well, it would still belong to the person who offered it." Buddha nodded and said, "Exactly, your anger is like that gift. I choose not to accept it, so it remains yours." Boom. Mind-blowing. Imagine being so at peace that someone can throw fire at you with their words, and you just don't catch it. Sounds amazing, right? But how do we get there? Let's move on to the next part to find the solution. Part 2. Mindfulness is the key. Alright, let's get real. You know that moment when you're about to lose it, your blood pressure spikes, your jaw tightens, and suddenly, you're what's your problem? Away from flipping a table. Yeah, we've all been there. But before you go full rage mode, let's talk about a little secret weapon, mindfulness. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh great. Another, just breathe and let it go, speech. But hear me out. Mindfulness isn't about pretending everything is sunshine and rainbows when someone cuts you off in traffic or your coworker eats the lunch you clearly labeled. It's about recognizing the anger before it hijacks your brain like an over-caffeinated raccoon. Step 1. Notice it. Just say to yourself, "Okay, I'm mad, I can feel it." That alone shifts you from being inside the anger to observing it. It's like watching a storm roll in rather than getting swept away in the tornado. Step 2. Pause. No, don't suppress it like you're stuffing an overfilled suitcase. It'll explode later in an even worse way, probably in an argument about who left the sink dirty. Instead, just take a second, a deep breath, a real one, not those dramatic, angry exhales where you're basically a tea kettle about to whistle. Step 3. Get curious. Ask yourself, what's actually setting me off here? Is it really about the coffee spill? Or is it because I'm exhausted and running on 4 hours of sleep? Is it about the annoying text I just got? Or is it because I haven't eaten in 6 hours and I'm one snack away from a breakdown? The more you understand your anger, the less power it has over you. Step 4. Let it move through. Feelings are like guests at a party. They show up, make some noise, and eventually leave, unless you feed them too much attention. Then they stick around and overstay their welcome, instead of feeding your anger with inner monologues about why you should be mad. Try picturing it like a cloud passing through the sky. You don't have to chase it, fight it, or build a house under it. Just let it drift. Now, I won't lie, this isn't some magical trick that makes you a Zen master overnight. You're still going to get irritated. You'll still have moments where you want to throw your phone into the ocean. But the difference, you won't act on it impulsively. You won't say something you regret. You'll have control, not the other way around. And let's be real, being the person who keeps their cool while everyone else is losing their minds. That's power. Part 3. Final lesson. Managing anger doesn't mean suppressing it. Emotions are natural, but instead of letting them control you, use mindfulness as a tool to transform them. Remember the Buddha's words. Holding on to anger is like holding a hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned first. Next time you feel anger rising, pause, observe, and take a deep breath. You'll notice a difference. And if you found this content helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss more lessons on applying Buddhist wisdom in daily life. Now, try a simple exercise. Think about the last time you were angry. How did you react? If you could go back to that moment, what would you do differently? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to continue your journey in exploring Buddhism, click on the next video on your screen now. See you in the next video.